Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, good people. Good morning, soul family. Good morning to my friends all around the world. Welcome. Welcome to another video on this channel. Make it an amazing day. Make it. It's your choice. It's your decision what kind of day you're going to have. So why not make it an amazing day? Make it. It's your choice. It's your decision. This video is about the unspeakable world. If you're the type of person that talks a lot, you'll never hear anyone else talk. If you're the type of person that thinks a lot, you'll never think of anything else but your thoughts. This is what you're focused on. There's a world going on all around you that you don't see, you don't observe, you don't take it in, because you talk a lot and you think a lot. And just like if you stop talking, you hear what other people have to say. When you stop thinking, you get to see what the world is all about. You might ask, what do you mean by stop thinking? Don't we think all the time? I mentioned many times about meditation I do in the morning on my deck for 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes more. I've described it as this river, this creek behind me. My thoughts flow, and at some point my thoughts calm down. They become still. In a way, you could say at some point there's nothing going on in my mind. And when that happens, I see a world. I observe a world. I hear a world that isn't observable when I'm into thought all the time, when I'm focused on thinking. Meditation, every day as a routine, a ritual you could say, reveals a lot of things. It reveals an unseen world, a world that wouldn't speak to us under other conditions. But when our minds are calm and clear, something changes. Something changes. In a way, you could say you go from being so self-aware about yourself and your life and you engage this silent existence that's been there all the time. I mentioned once before that I got to a point now where I don't feel separate from anything. We're intertwined, we're interconnected, we're connected, all of us. I'm as much a part of this planet as this tree or that tree, the ground, the leaves, the air, the sun, the moon, the stars. We're not separate. We are not separate from what's going on around us. The problem is we fail to see it because we are so involved in our thoughts. We are so involved in our conversations. It's all right, Ace. He hears a dog barking in the distance. I've said this before. This is an observation I made when I was in a 12-step meeting of AA one time. Some people would speak, and then the room would fall silent. And it never failed that someone said, I have to speak because I can't stand the silence. And I thought to myself, one, there's a person that doesn't meditate. There's a person that doesn't meditate. And two, maybe they like to hear themselves talk. But the truth may lie in this statement that several people spoke. Now these meetings are an hour long. So several people spoke. The room fell silent because people were thinking about what was said. It attracted their attention. It was worthy of processing. So the room fell silent. Sometimes people hear something said in a conversation and they're waiting for their turn to speak because they have a reply. Their side of it, so to speak. I've also been in that situation, and someone would say, and this is true, this happened. Someone said, well, my sponsor told me when the room falls silent, that's God saying, it's my turn to speak. Think about that. I can't go through the day with constant interaction that way. Part of how I got to where I'm at today is I pay attention to things that are said or what I read in a book. And in the case of a book, I close the book and I think about it. I think about what was said, how I relate to it. Can I apply that to my life and maybe change something for the better? People are constantly talking. People are constantly thinking. And what are they talking about? What are you thinking about? Through that meditation, that period of silence, unencumbered by any distractions, when my mind calms down, I'm able to make a connection to what I'll call the unseen world. Or, as some other people have put it, the unspeakable world. The world around us that doesn't get our attention because it doesn't make some kind of noise, let's say. When I wake up in the morning, I get a coffee and I go on my deck and I sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes more. It's a ritual, it's a routine now that my only thoughts upon awakening are going to the bathroom, grabbing a coffee, and then going and sitting in silence. No interference. And nor do I create interference. As I mentioned yesterday, I don't turn on the TV. I don't check text messages. My Facebook is deactivated, so I don't go on Facebook. I grab a coffee and I go and sit in silence because I understand today the benefits of it. Two benefits of sitting in silence, they are discipline and patience. Discipline and patience. In a way, you could say your job is just to go somewhere unencumbered by distractions and sit in silence. That's your job, first thing in the morning. I can't say that all your thoughts will go away. I can say your mind becomes still. The discipline that comes out of that and the patience you develop from that routine, that ritual, spreads itself all through your day. It helps you with restraint. Restraint. You develop restraint. And if a person, place, or thing disturbs you, you don't immediately react to it or overreact as a result of sitting in silence every morning. You develop that discipline and patience so that when something occurs that disturbs you, you don't have to react to it right away. You don't overreact to it as well. I don't see the world through the eyes I used to see it through. Having had a spiritual awakening, a psychic change, a profound personality change, incorporating prayer, meditation, and self-examination into my daily routine, this has changed my attitude and outlook on life. I've divorced myself from the nonsense, the drama of the day. I don't engage it, and I don't react to it. In a way, these distractions they don't matter. They don't matter. People that are talking excessively about nothing important doesn't affect me like it used to. Something happening around me doesn't affect me like it used to. What used to get me upset no longer gets me upset because I ask myself the question, how important is it? It's not that important. You could take a situation, as the old saying goes, and make a mountain out of a molehill. A wise person once said that when we are disturbed, by a person, place, or thing, we need to quell that disturbance. We need to quell that disturbance. If you're the type of person that everything bothers you, you take everything personal, you won't like meditation. You won't like it because you need to sit still. You need to give it time to let your mind calm down and become clear. There's no reacting to it. There's nothing to react to except Do you have the discipline to do it? Do you have the patience to do it? And the patience and discipline that develops from meditating leads to restraint. Restraint. To hold back before you react to a situation. Where I'm at today in my life didn't come overnight. It was a process. And it turns out that I'm going it alone. I'm not lonely, but I'm alone. Solitude. I haven't found like-minded people in my life. Here now. Can you be comfortable with another person and not say anything? Or say little to nothing? Can you sit with another person and you know each other well enough and you feel comfortable enough in your own skin that the silence isn't deafening? Let's go back to the unseen world, the unspeakable world. When we stop talking all the time, when we stop thinking all the time, we look at things in a different way. And not just that, we begin to see things we didn't see before. And we feel comfortable enough to just be an observer. An observer. So when I come down here to this sacred grove, I don't sit here and say, that's a tree, that's a leaf, that's a rock. There's high grass and bushes. It's not like I've never seen them before. I mentioned this, that when I was a kid, I used to be in the woods all the time. And I would stop and observe things for a long time. I would look at a tree for a long time in wonder. Part of the unspeakable world, that tree. I appreciate where I'm at today. I appreciate where I'm at today. And in a way I could put it, this way. I will not let another person destroy what I found, where I got to. I will not let another person destroy it with nonsense. when I don't talk all the time, when I'm not thinking all the time, I'm not using energy unwisely. To think all the time and talk all the time takes energy. That's why when I used to walk, I said this, I never walked with anyone. When I go on a walk, I want to observe things. And here where I walk, there's woods on both sides. The road goes, and there's woods on both sides. And I don't even look at it that way. I just want to walk. I want to pay attention to my breath. I haven't done it for a while. There was an exercise I used to do when I walked. I believe I learned it from Ralph Smart. As I was walking, I would inhale through my nose and hold it for 4 seconds. Let me say it again. I would walk, breathe in through my nose, and breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds. Exhale through my mouth for 4 seconds. Great exercise. I'll be honest, I don't pay much attention to my breathing. And a lot of spiritual paths and ways suggest that. However, I know from doing that exercise while I was walking, it made a big difference in my life. It made a big difference in my body. It was great for my mind. That would be more important to me, to go for a walk, do those exercises, breathing, inhale through your nose 4 seconds, inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, then exhale for 4 seconds. That would be more important to me than switching on the TV when I wake up to see what's going on in the world, or see what's going on Facebook, or to see who liked my latest comment. The result of these rituals, the result of practicing spiritual principles every day, that spiritual maintenance I talked about, is you learn a lot of things. You learn a lot of things because you're still. You're not distracted by technology or people talking or people thinking, or you talking all the time and you thinking all the time. You ever meet somebody that just can't shut up? If you want to find something wrong with the world around you, there's plenty of things to find wrong. On the same token, if you want to find something right about the world around you, there's plenty to find right. And again, those things that you may see as annoying are only annoying because you focus on it, and in your mind, you come to some kind of conclusion. I don't like that. Well, the world around you is going to go on whether you like it or not. Well, is this all I do all day, you might think? No, it's not. But this is how I start my day. This helps keep my heart kind. This helps keep my mind calm and clear. I take it all in. I take in the natural world. I take it in. If you're in a predicament, and we've all been in predicaments, I think I mentioned this a few days ago in a video, and I've been there. Another predicament. How did I get myself into this again? This didn't turn out like I thought it would. Maybe because you didn't think it through. Maybe because we're compulsive and impulsive, but compulsive. Compulsive people don't think things through. They react based on their emotions. Typically, they're self-centered people. And when they're disturbed, they may not only lash out, but when they wake up in the morning, they open their eyes and say, "Oh my God, not another day. Not another day." Really? You have extra days in your life that you could afford to say, "Not another day today, I'm just going to ignore the world," or whatever it is you think when you're disturbed by a person, place, or thing. Not another day. You could say there's a trick. You could call it magic. But there is a way out. There is a way out of being overwhelmed by a person, place, or thing. When we are involved in a situation, not again, the trick to that is, the magic is, not to start blaming, but to discover how we got ourselves in that situation in the first place. Sometimes, maybe a lot of times, we put ourselves in positions to be hurt, frustrated, disappointed, or annoyed. Instead of thinking it through, whether it's hooking up with another person or going to a certain place, instead of thinking it through, we're guided by our emotions. Oh, I feel good. And you feel good because of something external. You may even feel good because you don't feel good in your own skin. The process involved with not getting involved in another one of these situations is self-examination. Self-examination, self-restraint. To not be compulsive. Why can't I be happy? Somebody might say. Well, the truth is, I don't know of anyone that could be happy all the time. You could meet pleasant people because they're not affected by things, but to be happy all the time, I have throughout the day periods of happiness and joy when I observe the unseen world. When I look at and listen to the unspeakable world. That world that doesn't exist to people who are all tied up in technology, who are all tied up in talking all the time, who are all tied up in thinking all the time. There's a whole world around. Natural things. Natural things. You will never figure out how to not get involved with another one of those situations until you understand yourself, until you scrutinize how you got into that situation. And then figure out how to not do it again. Don't let your guard down. Think it through. And as I mentioned once before, for whatever reason, whatever the reason may be, you may wind up going it alone. Doesn't mean you're lonely. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable being alone with myself. It's not like I don't interact with people. I interact with people throughout the day. I just don't know anyone that has a daily ritual like I do. And I'm mindful of what I think and what I say and how I act throughout the day. I'm mindful of it. I don't get pulled back into another trap that way. A wise person once said, sometimes you have to go through the crap to see the traps. Sometimes you have to go through the crap to see the traps. What are the traps in your life? A lot of people have this need to be stimulated all the time. They need stimulation of some sort. They're the ones that turn on the TV first thing in the morning, They're the ones that play video games in the morning. They're the ones that watch pornography in the morning. They're the ones that think about somebody that hurt their feelings 5, 10 years ago, and now they want to get revenge. Constantly needing this stimulation, a dopamine hit. You could call that the Matrix. The Matrix that people talk about. That system. I'm out of that system now. I got out of it by coming into nature, by that daily routine of prayer, meditation, and self-examination. I am no longer tied to bells, whistles, beeps, flashing lights. Because I'm able to sit in silence. Maybe silence is golden. And if something is on my mind, maybe I'm trying to resolve an issue or figure out an answer, I don't make it happen. I don't push it to happen. It's there. And then I just let it go because I understand today the answers come to those questions I have in silence. We live in a world of instant gratification, there's no doubt about that. However, albeit nonetheless, when it comes to solving problems, when it comes to figuring out how did I get myself into this predicament again, you need to go silent. You need to back away from it. You need to give your 5 senses a break and sit in silence. And when you sit in silence, the answers will come. Everything you need to know is right here. You just need to figure out how to bring it out. I don't get myself into predicaments anymore. Not like I used to, no. Nope. I'm not compulsive. I'm not guided by my emotions. I am not seeking stimulation from a person, place, or thing. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a local state park, Locust Lake, and I went there with no expectations. I just know from my past experience, I call it holy ground there. I'm not sure what was there before they made that lake. But I go there without any expectations. Oh, I don't say this. Oh, I'm going to Locust Lake. This is going to be good. Yes, fantastic. I can't wait, blah, blah, blah. And then on the way there, a car cuts me off. Oh, you just ruined my experience. Or maybe you get there and it starts to rain. For you, it may be a bad thing. Now, I put a futon in the back of my van, and when I take my loyal companion Ace, if we go somewhere and it rains, I just open the van door and we sit in the futon and observe. And observe. That's the unseen world you wouldn't see if something got you upset on the way to Locust Lake. You may not even go there once you're upset. You may do a little road rage yourself on the way home because you're upset. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm talking about. Those things don't matter. Life happens. And it's not like every time something happens that you get disturbed. It isn't done on purpose. It's not like people are out to get you. In a way, we're developing social skills. In a way, we're developing social skills by holding back, restraint of pen and tongue, or going with the flow. You could say, just go with the flow. All right, this happened. We used to have a saying when somebody would get all bent out of shape over something little, we'd say to them, don't make a federal case out of it. When we were teens, middle teens, late teens, back in the early 70s, if somebody asked us a question and we didn't know the answer, we would say, search me, I don't know. We didn't make something up. It's okay to not have a response. You don't have to make something up. When we're disturbed by a person, place, or thing, and we hold on to that disturbance and we don't quell it, we start to make things up in our minds. There's the situation itself, and then there's the situation that we hold on to, we dwell on it, and we start to imagine more than what is involved. I found peace. I found peace. One day at a time, I found peace. When I'm disturbed by a person, place, or thing, in most cases, almost all of them, I could say it's not that important. I don't have to focus on it. I don't have to make a federal case out of it. Right now there's somebody banging on something over there. I was going to stop the video. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody's working on something and banging. They're doing something. I don't take it personal. I don't make a federal case out of it. And each time I practice that, I learn that it's how I perceive things that makes a difference. I think things through, if necessary. Now I could just have a thought, well, I'm going to stop the video, then I have a thought. That's life, right? That's life. I could stop the video, walk over to that field, look to see where the person is, and then make a federal case out of it. Don't you know I'm making a video down here? You're making all this noise. Ah! Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. If you're in a situation right now and it's disturbing you, you need to back off. Maybe it's a situation that you need to get out of. Well, you don't want to go from one situation to another. Without thinking it through. I used to run away a lot from... I used to run away. Really? As a kid, I ran away. That's how bad it got. And I don't run away anymore. I figured things out. I question my motives. I think things through. And I can't do any of that if my mind is not calm and clear. Calm down. Calm and clear. Maybe, maybe the way you are, and I'm not saying it's bad, okay? Maybe the way you are there are a lot of people you can't interact with because they don't understand you. They don't get you. And before you, if you have to get out of that situation, before you do that, you need to think it through. You need to figure out what got you in that predicament in the first place. It's not always somebody else's fault, okay? We put ourselves in positions to be hurt. As we get older, as we spiritually mature, we look at the world in a different way. As we become restrained, disciplined, and have patience. When situations arise, you could say, let it roll off like water on a duck's back. Just let it roll off. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Don't make it something it isn't.